Hello, I'm Wayne Roach, and you are watching Wayne Roach Reads the Bible. We're on chapter 40. That's right, the big 4-0. You know, sometimes I like to sit back and watch, you know, some old videos of, you know, rock and roll performances, you know. I do like this one. I forget what it was. It was this one. I liked that, the Richie Havens one, you know. When he played on that, you know, Woodstock, you know. And he says, freedom, freedom. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long way from my home. It's a nice song, you know. And you know, reading the Bible was in its own way, sense of freedom. Because through its pages, we learned about, you know, true freedom. And I think we're reading about dreams today. And dreams, you know, I likes to dream. Sitting back, you know, in my bed, you know, on the floor or whatever it is I'm sleeping in. And, you know, when I'm dreaming, I close my eyes and I'm dreaming. I think, you know, there's a leprechaun, and there's a fish and a dog and they're all dancing, you know, with feet. And so it's strange, you know, sometimes what dreams mean. But anyway, so, you know, freedom is kind of like dreaming, and, you know, vice versa. So, chapter 40, Genesis, I'm Wayne Roach, welcome. Sometime later, the king of Egypt's wine steward and his chief baker offended the king. He was angry with these two officials and put them in prison in the house of the captain of the guard, in the same place where Joseph was being kept. They spent a long time in prison, and the captain assigned Joseph as their servant. One night, there in prison, the wine steward and the chief baker each had a dream, and the dreams had different meanings. When Joseph came to them in the morning, he saw them that they was upset. So he asked them, "Why do you look so worried today?" They answered, "Each of us had a dream, and there is no one here to explain what the dreams mean." "It is God who gives the ability to interpret dreams," Joseph said. "Tell me your dreams." I wish I could tell Joseph my dream about the leprechaun. Anyway, so let's talk about their dreams now. So the wine steward said, "In my dream, there was a grapevine in front of me with 3 branches on it. As soon as the leaves came out, the blossoms appeared and the grapes ripened. I was holding the king's cup, so I took the grapes and squeezed them into the cup and gave it to him." Now Joseph said, "This is what it means. The 3 branches are 3 days. In 3 days the king will release you, pardon you, and restore you to your position. You will give him his cup as you did before when you were his wine steward. But please remember me when everything is going well for you, and please be kind enough to mention me to the king and help me get out of this prison. After all, I was kidnapped from the land of the Hebrews, and even here in Egypt, I didn't do anything to deserve being put in prison." When the chief baker saw that the interpretation of the wine steward's dream was favourable, he said to Joseph, "I had a dream too. I was carrying 3 bread baskets on my head. In the top basket, there was all kinds of baked goods for the king, and the birds was eating them." Joseph answered, "This is what it means. The 3 baskets are 3 days. In 3 days the king will release you and have your head cut off. Then he will hang your body on a pole, and the birds will eat your flesh. On his birthday, 3 days later, the king gave a banquet for all his officials. He released his wine steward and his chief baker, and brought them before his officials. He restored the wine steward to his former position, but he executed the chief baker. It all happened just as Joseph had said, but the wine steward never gave Joseph another thought. He forgot all about him. That was chapter 40. I'm Roach. Good night and God bless.